INTP spirit animals. What best symbolizes the INTP? It is said that we walk the earth with various spirit guides, some of which include animals. While to some people, the idea of a spirit animal seems like a cute and fun thing, to others, it is a serious inner and spiritual belief. Many cultures believe in spirit guides and their ability to help us through challenging times and lead us down the right path. For some, this includes animals, and we can potentially have different guides for different times in our lives. There are also spirit animals that stay with us, ones that represent our personality and who are inside. There are other animal guides that are just meant to help us through a specific time in our lives and give us a sense of guidance toward the right direction. It is also said that we do not choose our guides, but rather they choose us. It is important to be open to the different spirit animals around us and the signs they are trying to convey along the way. For the INTP, their spirit animals aren't only about which creatures they personally connect with, but which ones are seeking to teach them a specific lesson in life. Sometimes your spirit animal is about a guide that helps you understand yourself, while other times, it is an animal much different than yourself. When this happens, the animal is helping you find a new path, helping strengthen some of your weaknesses, and working towards growth and improvement. For the INTP, growth and change are important parts of their lives since they aren't happy with stagnancy and want to constantly learn and work towards new experiences. This can sometimes be a struggle, even for the personality types who thrive with changes. When they have difficulty seeing a clear path, their animal guide can help them find the right motivation and inspiration. Raccoon. The raccoon is a very curious animal, always searching and wanting to dive into something new. This is certainly connected to the curious nature of the INTP, who always wants to learn and continue searching for new experiences. They have a natural sense of curiosity, especially regarding information and absorbing as much as possible. When there is something the INTP really doesn't know much about something, this often makes them even more curious to learn about it. Much like the raccoon, the INTP often wants to be a bit more sneaky with their exploration, not always alerting people to their presence. They want to be capable of learning and growing without everyone knowing how much they actually know. The raccoon can be secretive, similar to the INTP personality. They don't feel comfortable exposing themselves to others and would not put themselves in more vulnerable situations. This is very similar to raccoons, who need to be on alert and defensive around others, so they don't expose themselves to vulnerable situations if they can avoid it. Raccoons need to be on guard and are very protective since they are prey animals, but this is similar to the INTP, who feels this natural need to keep their walls up. The raccoon connects to the INTP spirit, telling them to keep their secrets safe and keep themselves from feeling exposed to people in the wrong way. While there are times when the INTP needs to open up and take chances, there are also times when it is best to be more guarded. When connected to the raccoon's spirit guide, the INTP needs to look within and remain in that more secretive state of mind. Donkey. The donkey is a naturally independent and sometimes stubborn animal, which indeed connects to the INTP personality. They can be rather determined people, who will stand their ground when they know they are right about something, but the donkey guide is there to tell them that is perfectly okay. They must stand their ground and not allow others to change them. There are times when the INTP might have a hard time with the pressures around them and people trying to make them change their ways. The donkey spirit animal arrives when the INTP really needs to trust in themselves and remain firm with their beliefs and knowledge. They need to look inward and pull out this sense of strength they possess. The donkey is showing the INTP to stand firm, believe in themselves, and trust in their own intuitive abilities. There are times when it can be hard for the INTP to have faith in themselves and their sense of intuition, especially when people are pressuring them. INTPs might feel different from those around them, and during those times, they can doubt themselves and their intuition. When the INTP struggles with trusting themselves and their own knowledge, the donkey often comes to them to show them to remain strong. They are there to tell the INTP it is okay to be a bit stubborn, especially when believing in themselves, what they know, and where their inner strengths are. Polar bear. The polar bear spirit animal is often one which comes to the INTP when they are in need of motivation. INTPs often need help finding a sense of focus and determination with certain things and might feel like they need more inspiration. The Polar Bear Guide is there to show them that they can push past those struggles and have more inner motivation than they realize. While this is something that can be hard at times, that is the point of their spirit guide. The polar bear is all about moving forward and being completely determined in their goals. INTPs often want to have this sense of determination but can become distracted and might find themselves feeling a bit lost at times. Their Polar Bear Guide helps them find that sense of willpower and inspiration to keep themselves moving and accomplish those goals no matter what. Perseverance is a big part of the Polar Bear Guide and their message, and so they come to help the INTP dig deep and continue finding that motivation within them. The polar bear is also a guide that helps people appreciate the little things in life. INTPs can sometimes struggle with finding joy in smaller things in life. Their minds become so focused on the big picture that they can become caught up in their inner worlds. While this isn't a bad thing, it does sometimes cause the INTP to lack that sense of gratitude toward the things they do have. The Polar Bear Guide is showing them to really find a sense of appreciation and gratitude for the things and people in their lives. They need to learn to take notice of the things around them and start appreciating those smaller things. This can help the INTP find a certain amount of clarity in their lives and find joy in some of the details they might normally push aside or neglect. It isn't about changing who they are. Instead, it is about connecting with their accomplishments and the positive things they have around them. This can also help the INTP find more inspiration since they are learning to connect with parts of themselves they normally wouldn't. Goat the Goat Spirit Guide is about beginning a new climb or adventure, so they come to the INTP when it is time for them to experience change. It helps the INTP prepare themselves when it is time for a change in their lives. INTPs appreciate change and want to be open to experiencing new things. There are times when they might feel stagnant or trapped, so this is when their Goat Guide can help them prepare for some changes and new experiences. They are all about making that climb towards something new and feeling ready to experience whatever sense of adventure might be coming their way. The Goat Guide also tells the INTP to trust their abilities and that they will always land on their feet. They are about taking chances but knowing they can handle whatever comes their way. Instead of being fearful and doubting if they can handle the struggles, the goat is about inner faith and courage. They are ready to take on these challenges and go the distance, even if it seems frightening. This is when the INTP needs to jump into that new business venture or take a chance and travel to that new place they have always dreamed of seeing. The Goat Guide is showing them to dream big and not set limits for themselves even if they have goals that seem so far out of reach. The Goat Guide tells them not to hold themselves back from their true desires, and to simply continue climbing. They are capable people who have so much depth inside of them, and their animal guide comes to prove this to them. Goats are strong-willed and motivated, and they come to help the INTP find this within themselves during times when they might be doubting their own strengths and abilities. Hawk the Hawk Guide is all about intuition and trusting in their own inner knowledge. The hawk trusts their strengths and abilities and follows that intuition no matter what. They seek a higher perspective and are always ready to look at different angles. This is certainly connected to the INTP personality and the way they search out different perspectives and angles in order to see the right information in front of them. They have strong intuition and believe in trusting in that intuition, but they also gain this from seeing things from all of the different potential angles and perspectives they can. The Hawk Guide is about seeing things with a sense of clarity and searching for the truth. INTPs care about seeing the truth beyond what others can see. They search for knowledge and don't like allowing emotions to cloud their judgment and make things less clear for them. Clarity is certainly important for the INTP and being capable of delivering things precisely and accurately. This type of precision really does connect them to the Hawk Guide and makes them rather similar to this animal spirit. The hawk spirit animal is also a great messenger for the INTP when they need help focusing on one thing. INTPs become distracted easily because they have so many different things going on inside their minds. Their Hawk Guide helps them see things more clearly and focus on the path they need to work on at that moment. They can aid the INTP on their journey and help them focus on the most valuable goals, even when their minds want to draw them in different directions. There are many different potential spirit guides and animal guides that we might encounter throughout our lives. While some are meant to stick with us and connect with us on a deeper level, others are there to give us messages along the way. These are just a few potential animal guides for the INTP personality type, but these ones certainly have qualities and messages that might connect with the INTP throughout their lives. It is important to take a step back and remember that these guides come to us, and we do not choose them. The INTP might benefit from hearing the messages of their animal guides, especially when they find themselves lacking motivation or feel stagnant in their situation. INTPs thrive when they can learn from the messages around them, especially since they are naturally open-minded and curious people who want to continue growing and learning.